How does that, it doesn't matter. How does that look? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So now we're going to do some ground techniques that I have in my curriculum. But there's something important about this. So if you're one of my students watching this, in my mixed martial arts class, where we go from white belt to black belt, you know, we have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class afterwards. And so a lot of these techniques we don't do. They're still in the curriculum, and sometimes I'll give someone a private lesson so they can get caught up to these moves. But a lot of times in our actual core class, we don't do these moves, just because if people want to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or ground grappling, they stay afterwards. If you're watching this right now and you're an instructor, and you have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, or you have Hapkido, Aikido, I don't know, whatever grappling kind of self-defense thing it is, you know, these are the moves that maybe you could take out of this curriculum. I use this curriculum like a funnel. And what that means is it's a very important curriculum. It has extremely important techniques. It's extremely important to my martial arts school. But I also kind of feel like my students need my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu curriculum, but they don't realize that. So I get them to this class because it's not intimidating. It's very easy. Not easy, but a lot easier than my Jiu-Jitsu program. And then I kind of funnel them into my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program. So it's important that way, and you might be able to use this for your school. The reason I'm saying is these techniques are more intimidating. If you have somebody signed up because they want to just do kickboxing, and now all of a sudden we're doing some ground grappling, it could be intimidating for them. But anyways, they do follow my curriculum. So here we go. We're going to start in the mount position. So I don't know who wants to do the moves. You guys both should know them. So okay, so Jason is on top in the mounted position. Okay. So we're in the mounted position here, right? So we have 3 basic submission holds. Now, if you're watching this, people like to learn submission holds, and if you're an instructor, they like to learn submission holds. These are easy submission holds we can do. However, it is more important for the person on the bottom to learn the escapes, which are also coming, okay? If it's a real fight, man, this guy doesn't really need jiu-jitsu. He can just punch the dude in the face or whatever, or just hold him down, right? First thing is, if you're in the mounted position, the guy on the bottom is going to freak out and spaz out to try to escape, right? So what the guy, Jason, on top is going to do is he's going to hug his head. Let's hug on the other side so we can see the camera. Okay, so he hugs his head. Now he's turning Arturo's head towards you guys, and he's putting his right hand out, and he's kind of opening up his legs a little bit so his hips are heavy, okay? Now, if Arturo tries to escape, it's going to be hard for him because he can't turn... Okay, settle down, Arturo. He's not going to be able to turn Jason that way because Jason's hand is there, and he's not going to be able to turn him towards me because Jason's not allowing him to turn his head. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hold them and mentally crush them before we try the submission hold. We're not just going to jump to the submission hold because then they're going to escape and we're going to lose our position. Okay, first submission hold we have here is a shoulder lock. Okay, so let's do a shoulder lock. So we kind of come up. We kind of felt this guy mentally give up, and we're going to go for the shoulder lock. So we're here. Let's do the shoulder lock on that side. So you're going to grab. Okay, hold on. You better have this. Okay, so we have the shoulder lock here, right? So he's making a grab on the wrist. His hand makes this grab. A lot of times I'll do this if we're up here. So come up a little bit. Say you're punching the guy and he's defending. Now you just kind of push down. Boom. Okay, good. Now, if he just lifts up now, Arturo's not going to feel so much. So he's going to kind of bring it down and bring the elbow up, and it's going to create a lot of pressure on the shoulder. Personally, I don't like this one as much in the mounted position because I feel so much your weight is that way. So a lot of times I'll abandon this leg over here and jump to side control. A lot of times I'm going to do that because I feel like you have so much weight going that way you can get reversed. Okay, let's go back to the top. If our opponent here, if they want to turn, if they're like they want to try to turn, so he's trying to turn that way, he wants to turn, just let him go, right? Now when you let him go, you're going to go for the rear choke. Okay, good. I'm going to show some details on the rear choke in just a second. Okay, come back. Another thing that will happen is the guy on the bottom will try to bench press you. He's trying to lift him up. He's pushing, right? This is a big mistake because this guy can still punch him in the face. Okay, so this push doesn't help you. But if they're giving you their arms, you can now turn to the side. Okay, now hold on. Hold that position. Now, from the side, we've created a longer arm, so we have a good, powerful arm bar. We like to take this hand and put some pressure on the face here, okay? You can step over to do the arm bar right now. Let's show this. Step over, but don't fall back. Step over, and now stay right here and lift the arm up. Right here. Boom. You can arm bar him right here, okay? You could also fall back. Let's fall back now. You could fall back. If you fall back, you're going to hug his leg. if he doesn't have pants and you're going to hug the leg, that's going to prevent the escape, okay? So he can't escape as easy because you're hugging the leg. Okay, let's go back. My preference for this move is when you turn him on the side, is to take this arm and go under his head. Now go under his neck, grab his wrist. Now grab your own wrist with your right hand. This is my preference. We call it the gift wrap, okay? From this position here, you have a really good position where he could let go with his right arm and throw punches on his face, you know, boom. Or you could keep the arm, and now this arm goes over his head, you smash his throat with your forearm, and you step over and you make the arm bar. It's very hard for him to escape because you have this grip we call the Kimura grip. So if Arturo tries to turn, Jason's not going to let him turn, and he can go back for the arm bar. Okay, so those are some very important submissions from that top position.